I have a client who provides medical services in Southern California on behalf of the state. Distributed services, employee visits homes and provide these services. Recently, he had a 10% price reduction by the state of California. So assume that he has a 20% profit margin. This means he has a 50% decline in profits. So how do you respond to this? Because that's a substantial reduction in profits. The first response in a service company, the biggest cost is salaries. Let's cut salaries. I told him that to cut salaries as a first response is the worst response. So let's look at the issue in a different perspective. So I told him, tell me how you generate revenues. How do you generate revenues? How does your operations team work? How do they schedule appointments, so on and so forth? So he brought me a set of reports and we talked to a team of people analyzing this issue. What I realized is there's not enough detail. So I said, no, I want in absolute detail how revenues are being generated. Weekly, daily, hourly, and even per minute. When we were looking at this, we saw that employees were getting up in the morning, appointments were being cancelled either by the client or by themselves because they didn't feel like going to service the client. There was no backup plan. There were traffic delays. There were a whole host of factors that impeded proper revenue generation. Over a period of 3 to 6 months, we cleaned it up, and instead of having an overall revenue decline because of the price cut, he had a revenue increase because 20 to 30% of possible revenues were being left on the table. So he just finished his fiscal year. Instead of a salary reduction, he gave the employees a bonus. This is some of the work that I do in my client companies and some of the approaches that I take to bring value to the CFO function and the overall business health and profitability that results in such sort of analysis. This is the kind of work that I do.